When I sat down on this floor to start recording, I made a noise that before this moment I had only ever heard my father make. It's not looking good for me, you guys. Y'all, how do I even describe what's gone on this week? I had what I thought was this wonderful idea to shoot a little kitchen renovation vlog. We're renters. We live in an apartment. So when I say renovation, that is with really significant air quotes. And I wanted to make a whole thing of it. And by God, I tried. Let me walk you through what happened. First things first. I tried to film a little going to the paint store, picking out our paint type shit. And I think the social anxiety of filming in public just kind of got to me. And I didn't notice that my camera was set to only take pictures. So I only took pictures at the paint store, blurry ass photos of the paint color selection. And then when we get home, I did the same thing when I set up to start recording. At one point I did successfully record, but it's just a really awkward clip of me painting one small spot in the kitchen while listening to last podcast on the left.
Truly one of the most prolific serial killers in history. Yeah,
South American.
No. Same as Forrest Gump. No.
And then I wanted to film a little bit about Godkiller, which I finished, and I will be talking about eventually. And a bird tried to kill me. I'm obsessed with this book.
Did you see that? Holy shit.
And then I did successfully film some stuff of me putting up the temporary backsplash. Now she doesn't really have any place to go because all the other footage was ruined. So we're starting fresh. We also went to the thrift store and I tried vlogging that, but once again, the vibes were just kind of weird, and there was this weird, I think it was a tapestry of an angel or Jesus. And then there was this gigantic pig that was a legit piggy bank. And I found it all very disturbing. But we did get a couple of cute little baskets. Let me show you the piece de resistance. So they're basically trivets, but they have little notches to hang on the wall like photos. And so that's, I think, what I'm gonna do. So first up is this one. Oh, are you kidding me? This looks exactly like both my nephews, my cat nephews, Percy and Doug. Shout out Percy and Doug. And then this is the crazy one. This looks like Pumpkin and her fallen brother, Bingy. Let me tell you about Bingy. Okay. Bingy was the first cat I had ever had. He was our first cat together, and he was the love of my life and also the greatest heartbreak of my life, because when he was only 5, he passed away very unexpectedly from a blockage in what we would find out later were 2 deformed ureters. It wasn't like the typical blockage that male cats tend to get and are prone to getting. His kidneys and his ureters were very deformed, and it all happened so fast. The people at Cornell Vet Hospital were so incredible, and they did so much work to try and save him, but it was just not possible. His condition got too bad too quickly, and I could cry just talking about it again. And then about 6 months later that year, I got cancer. Hey, that was the worst year of my life. Losing him, he was my buddy, he was my soul cat, he was my guy. But then, so a few months later, I get the cancer diagnosis. I think maybe 2 weeks before I started chemo, I'm looking at a local cat shelter's page, and what do I see? It's a picture of what looks like Bingy. And I was like, hey, what the fuck? They even have the same nose freckle. It's a little girl cat named Lizzie. What do? I call them up. I say, hey, talk to me about this cat. What is she like? I'm kind of, in my head, I'm kind of hoping they're going to be like, she's a terror. She's the worst. You don't want her. But they're like, she's an amazing cat. She is so friendly. She's so buzzy. And I was like, fuck. So I went immediately, met her, soul connection, instantly, and I said, you're coming home with me. You're coming home with me right now. She went from Lizzie to, we named her Pumpkin because I kept on calling her Little Pumpkin Muffin because she just has the personality of a baked good. And it really helped me get through those initial couple months of the cancer treatment and diagnosis. And I'm not trying to get all sappy now, but like, and then I come across this. Are you fucking kidding me? It's them. It's them. That is literally them. So I'm very like, huh. But yeah. What the hell were we talking about? Oh yeah, the kitchen. Let me talk to you a little bit about the whole spiel with the kitchen. So we, like I said, are renters. We've been living in this apartment for about 4 years now. It's got to be like almost 4 years. I don't know. We've been here for a while. Longer than we've ever lived in any other apartment. Hi! And our landlord has always been really cool with us doing any tweaks that we see fit to the apartment, so long as they're not permanent, like knocking down walls. And we have pretty okay taste when it comes to like things that we've wanted to do. And so he's always been cool with us painting or making any little modifications to the place that are technically temporary. And I wanted to do this like cozy early aughts kind of kitchen vibe because I don't know, I think I was going through an identity thing. I thought that would be a really cute, sweet way like to make the kitchen all cozy and homey, and it just made it really dark and it made it really hard for our accents to like blend. It did not look good, girl. It didn't look good. And I'll be the first to admit that. So we painted the kitchen a color called creamy. I wanted the creamy. Brady wanted one that was called like conspicuous cream or something, bro. I don't know. And we went with creamy because it leaned a little bit more ivory. The conspicuous cream was a little bit more of a yellow-brown cream. Very conspicuous. We did all of that, and then I was in between 3 different backsplash options. Just peel and stick, renter-friendly backsplashes. And I'd been leaning towards, there was like a blue star kind of option. But I figured that if I went with that, I would be in the same boat as we kind of were with the green, where it's not the easiest color to work with. And I loved the coziness and the celestial kind of vibe of it. But at the end of the day, I figured it was going to be a little bit too specific for what I was looking to do. And then it was down to the burgundy tile and the kind of like a mossy green tile. And I said, you know what? Screw it. The rest of the house, I kind of have plans to incorporate this mossy color into almost every room. Let's go with the red. Let's go with the red. Let's lean into the like sexy kind of dark jazz club vibe type shit. So we went with that, and I put up one side of the kitchen, and immediately I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It looks incredible. And so then ordered some brown, like almost like a darker terracotta curtain to go with it. Now I'm just waiting for, in the next couple of days, the remainder of the tile for me to do. The other side of the kitchen is coming, and I'm very excited. I feel like I've got the application process down, and I think that once it's all together, it's gonna look very just like sophisticated, very sexy, very grown up, very cool, which is so exciting because we've never had that in an apartment before. The rest of the day is gonna be very boring. We're gonna go get some shit done around the house, and we will be checking back in with you soon. Say bye. Say see you in a minute. Good morning. It is quite literally 6:30 in the morning on a Sunday, mind you, and I can't sleep anymore. I woke up at 5:30 and I just was like, you know what? I'm not going back to bed. So what I am gonna do is have just like a nice slow morning. I'm gonna make some Earl Grey London fog pancakes, I think, which could be a mega flop. I've never made them before. And I'm just gonna settle down. I'm gonna edit my videos. I'm gonna upload another YouTube video and meal plan and just kind of do my thing. But I need a coffee first. We're gonna do a little pistachio iced Americano, I think with like a little vanilla cold foam. That sounds good. Not too much. Iced double shot, loaded and ready to go. Always add a little bit of your milk or water to your espresso, depending on what you're making, before your ice, so that you don't shock the espresso. Just a little. Okay, it's better than I thought it was gonna be. That is such a relief. I'm gonna start the pancake process by infusing like about 3/4 to a cup of almond milk with about 3 or 4 sachets of this Winnie the Pooh Earl Grey tea that I found. The magic of what happens when you organize your kitchen. I'm just warming the almond milk over low heat for a couple minutes before I add the tea bag. I feel like this hair length I'm at, and with my glasses, I'm really giving Velma jinkies. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, while those are steeping, I'm gonna get all the dry ingredients mixed together. Oh my god, wait. Hey, you're so cute. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to show you that the curtains came last night. I love them, but now I'm like, okay, what do I do with this spot? Right. Bruh, this smells divine. Stainless steel pan is just gonna heat up for a few minutes, and then we'll start with our sacrificial pancake. There's always the first one that has to be sacrificed to the pancake gods. It rarely, almost never, turns out good the first time. But it's okay, that's its purpose, and it's happy to serve it. Oh yeah, that's what you want. Tis a rough fate, being the first pancake. Hi, good morning. Adding some bloops. Oh, hey. Okay. Moment of truth. I'm actually surprised how much the Earl Grey flavor came through. Those are really, really delicious. Hey, call me chef. Yeah, highly recommend topping with the honey though. I'm gonna check back in with you once the remainder of my tiles get here in a couple of days and we can full circle with the mini kitchen facelift here. Howdy. It's time to place the rest of this tile, and I'm so fucking pumped. This is where we're at on this side. I just have to finish this little spot right here because I ran out of tile when I was originally doing it. I think we're gonna do this whole area right here.
That one is the most aggravating one of all. Yeah, and then the sheriff could be in a. You know what I'm realizing now? Yeah, hair did. I don't know what the things he sort of mean. And if
It's looking good. We did it, Joe. I had to stop recording for a little bit because I felt like I was very, very close to having a mental breakdown at one point in this process. Because I thought I was going to run out of tile again. But we got a little crafty with it, and I think it turned out pretty okay. So let me show you. So here's this side. She's all done. What should I name this bear? I've had this for like a year. He stores my Nespresso pods. He needs a name. He's so cute. Here's this side. Ignore my dirty dishes. I just think it looks so cute. It's so cozy. I'm so happy with how that turned out. We need to talk. Okay, I'm getting ready right now to head to a little bar class. Last night, by the way, was so fun. My friend and I went to our gym and they had a magician doing tricks by the pool. It was so fun. And we got a glass of wine and then we went to our yoga class. It was a blast. The first thing I want to chat about is the final cost of the kitchen renovation, the little mini kitchen renovation. And then we need to talk about Godkiller. I need to talk about Godkiller. Let's start with talking about the kitchen. The little baskets that I thrifted, $10 for both of them together. I bought one set of the terracotta curtains. That was $32. We only needed one can of paint. It was $25. We didn't have to buy any extra painting supplies. We already had it all, so there was no added cost there. And then the backsplash was $40 a pack. And I used 3 packs, so that was $120. So if I mathed that correctly, which, hey, even with a calculator, my numbers are never to be trusted, it came out to about $187. I think under $200 is pretty good. I know that that's not like an insignificant amount of money to drop suddenly, but I think if done intentionally, you can really change a space by making small, cost-effective modifications. I think it was worth it. Okay, let's talk about this book. I don't even know what to say about it, dude. So I'll start by saying this is the size of it. This is a fantasy novel. This is the size of this book. It's teeny. But though she be teeny, she be mighty, dude. Okay? She really packs a punch. I think something that's very unique about this book is that a lot of fantasy novels, I think, you expect a fantasy novel to be a honker, right? You expect them to be like 400 to 600 pages oftentimes because one of the primary elements of a fantasy read is typically world building. There's also a significant amount of character building and backstory that's lent in fantasy novels, which makes the books inherently very thick. Godkiller does all of that, but it does it efficiently and it does it in a way that's very like no fuss. So you get all the world building, you get the mythology building, you get the character backstory and building, but without it dragging on, it just makes the story overall feel super accessible. If I had to describe the overall vibe of the book, I would say it kind of has that like really dark mysticism and vibe and almost formula of the Dark Souls video games, especially in the sequences where there are a lot of big battles with the gods that are to be killed. I also felt that it had a very similar kind of like brute force that I only have felt in Robert Eggers' Northman movie. Hey, it's kind of like the baby of those video games plus Northman. That's at least how it felt to me. Robert, I think you should, please. So speaking of how I so badly want Robert Eggers to direct a film adaptation of this book, let's talk about headcast. My favorite part of starting a new series, one of my favorite parts is doing the headcast and like being like, who would I have play this person? Obviously, Elo. It's gonna be Dev Patel. Don't cast anyone but Dev Patel to play him. I don't want to see anyone else playing him. No. I won't see the movie if anyone else plays him. Just straight up. I'm not gonna see it. King Aaron, Alexander Skarsgård. Okay. Duh. Kissin', I can't imagine anyone but Rose Leslie of Game of Thrones fame playing her. She's got the perfect everything for it. Like, she was built to play that character. Now, the one that I struggle with is Inara, the little girl. I'm gonna say leave that role open to an emerging, brilliant young actor. That's what I'll say about that. And Skedikath, I imagined voiced by Eddie Redmayne. Oh! You know who else? Oh, Daniel Radcliffe. Someone who can do like this type of voice very well. Those are my big headcast for Godkiller. When I tell you I finished that book and I immediately placed an order for the next one with one of my local bookstores. Like, I have never made a purchase faster in my life, dude. So Sunbringer, I think is the name of the second one. It's gonna get here tomorrow. I quite literally foresee myself in 24 hours from now ripping the package open. I'm so excited. I want to mention that I fully intend on sometime soon doing a little series, whether it's on YouTube or like Reels or something, about fantasy books for people who don't like fantasy, because I notoriously don't really like fantasy and used to be very like, don't come at me with that whenever somebody would recommend me a fantasy book. And I've come to really love particular types of fantasy. And I feel like I know how to clock a fantasy book that will be friendly with non-fantasy lovers. Expect that in the future. That about wraps it up for me today, girl. I have a pretty fun few weeks coming up here. We've got our anniversary 1 year coming up. So we're doing some fun stuff for that. And then we have a trip to California coming up. We're going to be working on the porch garden, and I'll make sure to film bits and bobs along the way of all that stuff. Okay? Go pick up Godkiller, read Godkiller if you haven't read it. Don't be like me, don't buy it and then have it sit on your bedside table for literally 2 years. I really need to talk to somebody about it. I'm serious, guys. Yeah. I'll see you around.